Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, my name is Robert and my channel is Maple Woodworks. Well, today I decided to design a new Christmas ornament. The reason why is because I'm going to my sister's for dinner on New Year's Eve and I wanted to bring her something special. But Christmas in 2025 is now over. It's actually December 28th today, and I decided I wanted to do something for her special, and so I put the year 2026 for next year so she could put it on her tree. So this is a 3-layer ornament. So the bottom layer is right here, and so what's going to happen is it'll be all this, the snowflake, and this section will be here because it'll cut out all this greenish yellow section and the green section here. So this will remain, and I'll paint this white. Now on the second layer, it'll cut everything out. This layer will be cut out as well. And so to save some material, what I'll do is I will cut out this 2026 here first, and then cut out the rest of it, and then cut out the name and a third layer, which will be the name in the snowflake. If you look on the right hand side at the top, you'll see my cuts and layers. So this is how the actual laser cutter will go. So it'll start off with layer 5 here, go to 0, 3, 1, 4, then 2. And if you ever want to change these around, change the order, if you're using light burn, of course, just go ahead and push up and down on these arrowheads here. All right, and if you don't want a layer anymore, click on the layer and hit the delete button there. One thing to know about cutting something out like this is that you always want to start with your inside items first, then go to the outside. The first thing it's going to do, it's going to come into the 2026 and cut out the inside of the 0 and the 6. And the reason why you want to do this is if you cut out the black here, layer 00, which is right here, which is really your second layer, if you actually cut this out, it may, and your material is a little bit bowed, it may actually fall down and it may not fall flat. I've even seen it once where it falls down and it actually goes over to the side a bit. And then if it goes to cut out the inside of the 0, it could be off center and your piece, the number is wrecked and you have to redo it again. So always inside first. So inside of the 0 and the 6, next layer is the 00, the black. So it's going to cut out the 2026, the outside of that. It's going to cut out the inside of all of the snowflakes. Again, here is inside, then to the outside. After it's cut out all the black, which is of course also where the string will go on the ornament at the top, then it's going to go to layer 3, which is the green layer. So it's going to do the inside of the A, the inside of the E, and as well here as well. It's going to remove these pieces. Now, if you're new to light burn and doing stuff like this, is maybe a little bit confusing, but you'll understand at the end when you see the finished product. So then it's going to come over here and it's going to cut out the inside here as well. And then when it's finished all the green, it'll move to the blue layer. And so it's going to cut out here all the blue. And again, so this would already be cut out. Now it's going to go to this. Then it's going to go to this greenish yellow. I don't know what color to call this, mustardy kind of, but anyways, it'll cut this out as well and over here. Then it's going to do the final layer, which is the red layer, and it's going to cut the outside of the snowflake, the outside of the base layer, and then the outside of the second layer. And then of course these two are the top layer, which will be glued on top. That's how the laser is going to go. Now a few things over here I'd like to explain on this side if you're new to light burn, and I'll tell you this: if you are thinking about getting a diode laser or any type of laser, the light burn software, this is the Cadillac of software. Trust me, it's like $50 a year or something like that. I don't even think it's that much. It's worth every penny, trust me. But over here, when we talked about, the cutting everything out, and we said the layer, the inside of the 6 and the 0, you could see here's the speed. It's 200 millimeters a minute at 85% power. So that laser is running at 85%. And you can see it here, 285 right here. And it's going to do it 2 times. And I always do it 2 times just to ensure that I've gone right through the actual wood and I don't have to worry about, a little section of it that didn't go right through. If you're cutting, you've got to be on line mode and you got to turn on your air because the air will cut it out nice and clean. If you leave the air off, it's actually going to burn it and it's going to make a mess. It doesn't cut it clean. It really like burns into the wood. Your wood around it's going to be all black. It's not a good thing. You want to turn off the air if you're engraving. If you're engraving, you come down to the fill mode here, turn off your air, and your speed, you're going to go a lot faster with a lot less power. So if I wanted to just engrave something in here, I would change this, me personally, to 2000 millimeters a minute at roughly 50%. That's what I would do my engraving, and only one pass count. That's it. That's how I would do it. But this is for cutting. So we're going to flip this back to line. We're going to change this back to 200. And we're going to put this at 85%, and we're going to do 2 passes. There we go. We're ready to go now. Now our next step is to go over to the laser, and I already have the actual piece of 3mm plywood ready, and we're going to cut it out, spray paint the base layer, as I mentioned, this one white, and then we're going to go ahead and glue everything together. And I like to hand paint, and I'll show you that all as the video goes on. So I hope you stick around. All right, so first thing we're going to do here is we're going to frame our piece just to make sure that our ornament is in the middle of the wood and we don't start cutting and it goes off the actual wood. So we hit the frame button, and here we go, and it's good. And there we go, so we know we're good. Now there's the actual laser right in here, or the point of it, so you really can't see that, and nor should you be looking at that. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and start this and let it burn. And start and say yes. So here we go. We are now cutting into the wood. It says it's going to take 15 minutes, 50, to cut out this actual ornament. And I can see why. It has a lot of cuts, a lot of fine cuts. And it takes time. Now what you can't see is there's a big fan in my window, and it's blowing out all the smoke from the actual burning. But I closed the door, that runs, and no one in the house ever complains about the smell of smoke or anything anymore. That fan, I got it from Viver. Excellent fan, blows everything out, no issues. So at this point, we're just going to sit around and watch it do its thing for the next 49 minutes and 42 seconds. And yeah, I'll speed it up for you, I'm sure, because you don't want to see this for 50 minutes, that's for sure. Alright, so I fast forwarded through this cut process to about 50-ish% because God knows no one wants to sit here watching this for 50 minutes. But if you do have a diode laser cutter like I do, one thing to know that if you are cutting things and you're using like 80% or something like that to get through the wood, and all of a sudden you're not being able to get through the wood anymore, you need to do maintenance on your machine. There is a focus lens that's inside, and what you have to do is you have to take that out, clean the whole inside of it, and then go ahead and either clean that, sometimes it just needs to be cleaned, or replace it. If you see that it's clouded and it's got like lines in it, that means it needs to be replaced. And that's what was happening to me. It was cutting really poorly, and then all of a sudden I noticed, you know what, it's been a long time since I've actually cleaned it or anything. When I took it all apart, I noticed it was a little dirty, but the actual lens itself was in really bad shape. Once I replaced that lens, it was cutting just perfectly, just like the day I bought it. So make sure you take a look at that. All right, so we gave it a first coat, and it's dried up now. I did pre-sand just the bottom here. Remember that only this bottom piece here is actually going to be, are people going to be actually able to see. So don't care about that, it'll all be covered. And this is where the 2026 will go. So just a rattle can, nothing special, little cover on it. That's it, we're gonna let that dry now. And that will be the last coat, and then we'll start gluing it all together and just painting the actual snowflake and the word Ardor and the 2026, and we'll glue it all together. Okay, so here we are. I quickly painted some colors. As I mentioned, there's the background, and 2 layers, I just glued them together. You saw me spray paint that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue these together just like that, and then put the 2026 in And there is the Christmas ornament completed. Now, where do I get my paints and my paint brushes? Well, here's my paint brushes. I got several different kinds here. I kind of, every time I go in to Walmart, I just buy new sets, and I use them for quite a while, but I don't know, for some reason I just keep buying them. So the paints themselves actually come from Walmart. I paid them about $2, and I think it's like $2.99 or $2.97 each. And so all the different colors are right here. I don't know if you can see them, but I even have more in the other room. So anyways, for the light blue, all I did was I took this dark blue and I mixed in some white together, and so it got this nice blue. This blue for Ardor is just the straight blue, 2026 as well. So now all I'm going to do is glue them together. Now, to glue them together, I will be using Type Bond 3, because I use Type Bond 3 for everything. It's also pretty expensive, especially that it's food safe and water resistant, and of course you don't need that for a Christmas ornament, but I'm not going to go buy different ones. So I just take it and I'll dab it, because it's really strong glue, and just put it together. Now I'm going to, after I do this, I always take it and I'll clean it up with my fingers, and I'll dab it to make sure that the glue goes all around everywhere. So at this point, all that's left to do is really put on the 2026, and the ornament is complete. I do have a question for you. What do you think of this ornament? Do you like it? Would you be interested in me going through and doing a lesson on light burn and showing you exactly how to create that ornament? If you would, leave a comment below and I'd be happy to do that. I'm just not sure what kind of content you guys would really like, but yeah, I'd be really happy to do that for you. One other thing, if you're liking the content, don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe button. You know, a new YouTube channel like us, we really can use all the help we can get, and I'd really appreciate that. Alright, so it's coming to the end now, and I gotta admit, this is my favorite ornament that I made this year. Even though I put 2026 on it for next Christmas, I just thought, you know, it looked good, and I didn't want someone to say, well, 2025 is over already. But there it is. What do you think of it? Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in future videos. Take care.